Sup, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Joe Biden, and today I wanted to do a review over this little game called Diablo 2 Resurrected after putting about 130 to 150 hours into it. If you wanted a very quick review, I will just say that this game is probably in my top 5 games I've ever played. I enjoy pretty much every game system there is, and I would rate it at a strong 8.5, 9 out of 10. With that being said, let's just get into what I enjoyed and did not enjoy about the game. Keep in mind, I only have about 6 days played time total throughout my Xbox and PC, so I haven't experienced every piece of content D2R has to offer, but I have beaten the game on hell, and my highest character is an 87 paladin I played during the previous ladder, running hammers, of course, lol, and the gameplay you see in the background will be me running Chaos Sank with him. I was using a PS5 controller while playing on my PC for the gameplay, but the main system I use is an Xbox Series X. First off, I just want to immediately draw comparisons to the Borderlands franchise. That was a personal favorite of mine growing up and really got me into the whole looter genre of games, and you can definitely feel the inspiration Diablo had on it. From the multiple playthroughs, seemingly endless supply of loot, and things like the endless farm of boss characters for god rolls, you can clearly see the inspiration Diablo had on the Borderlands franchise in the best of ways, and I think that definitely helped my overall enjoyment of the game. The story/lore of Diablo 2 is also rather enjoyable to me personally. I enjoyed how the continuation of the warrior story from the first game, while also seeing the fates of basically all the characters from the previous game, is always a nice touch. When it comes to locations for the story, I think Diablo 2 absolutely killed it. Obviously, I'm looking at this through the remaster of the game, but the art style/tone was already there. The remaster just helped bring it more to life with higher fidelity. The entirety of Act 1 is a masterpiece from the developer's vision, and I personally believe they could have made a game entirely out of the first act. I know I would play a game based around it, lol. I personally enjoy the aesthetics of all of the acts. They make each one feel different and distinct, but also they make them feel like they belong in the same game together. In terms of objectives for the acts, they are all pretty straightforward. Acts 2 and 3 are more fetch-based, while 1, 4, and 5 are purely go to the end of the level and kill the bad guy. Of course, all of them have their side quests that typically yield great bonuses like skill points, extra life/resistances, gear, or attribute points. While none of those are required to beat the game, the rewards they provide are more than worth doing for each playthrough on each character. Even with the quests being straightforward, you never really feel bored because the gameplay loop is just so addicting. Get the loot, identify the loot, and either equip or sell the loot. Along with all the great visuals and character designs, I almost never got bored even after killing the Countess for the 50th time in a row trying to get the correct rune to drop. Speaking of runes, I think that is a good segue. I know I'm in the minority with this take, but I personally enjoyed the rune word system. I had never played without them, so I don't know how great it was before they were introduced, but the idea of being able to create your own gear that can potentially be the best gear in the game that grants you immense character power is awesome to me. Of course, it is not without its flaws, because the rune words pretty much nullified almost every single unique weapon, chest, and helmet piece. I still very much enjoy the system. Now, for a few things I did not enjoy all too much, lol. I guess the biggest thing I think most people would agree with is just a steep learning curve that comes with the game. Whenever I first started playing, I pretty much had no clue what anything did in terms of things like stats, along with the fact that you have a very limited number of respects before the end game makes it very punishing if you're unaware of game's mechanics/interactions. I learned through osmosis, so watching YouTubers like Mr. Llama SC, Kano, and regular schmuck helped me learn a lot about the game, but I can definitely see some people just straight up abandoning the game early because the game's mechanics/interactions. I learned through osmosis, so watching YouTubers like Mr. Lam, SC Kano, and regular schmuck helped me learn a lot about the game, but I can definitely see some people just straight up abandoning the game early because there is a steep knowledge curve that comes with the game. And even with all the information readily available online, it can get overwhelming. Once you get past that initial barrier and really start to understand the game, it gets more enjoyable each time you play it. Apart from that, I have no other major issues with the game. Sure, the things like limited respects and such aren't great for the quality of life, but this is still a game from the year 2000, and the game design reflects that. I don't like to judge old games based on systems that got introduced in the years after its release. Another little nitpick I have is just the beginning portion of Act 3 LMAO. It's just more of a maze than the other acts, which some might see as a positive, but following through the spider forest for 10 minutes only to hit a dead end was not the wave lull, and through other anecdotal experiences, they said it was not very fun. The second half of Act 3 with Kurast, Trav, and Durance I absolutely love, except for those bastard dolls, lol. This wasn't supposed to be a real in-depth review of the game. I just wanted to give my thoughts on it after playing about a week's worth of content. To compare, I've actually played a little bit more of D4 gameplay-wise, but I haven't had near the enjoyment on there as I have had on D2, and I mainly played to get achievements. If you would like for me to make maybe a 15 to 20 minute long video going in depth on my thoughts about more things in D2, I would gladly make that video. My final thoughts are no game is perfect, but D2 comes damn close in my opinion. With that being said, I hope y'all have a great day, and I will catch y'all at the White House. Number 46 out.